Hello everyone and welcome back to Hannah's Happy Home. In today's video, I'm going to be working at some organizing and decluttering in our home. Starting off here in our boys' bedroom, I will be clearing everything out of this closet, decluttering, reorganizing, relocating this guest mattress and platform, and also adding some new organization items to just make this space more functional for them. After this, I'll be working on our homeschool area, getting all of that organized, and also sharing a haul of all of the school curriculum that we're using for this school year. After that, I'll be working in Levi's bedroom, and then I will be starting on some homemade applesauce. We went and picked some apples at a local orchard, and I turned all of those apples into homemade applesauce and apple crisp, and I canned that applesauce. And then at the very end of this video, you will see us harvest the pomegranates from the pomegranate bush here on our property, and I'll show you how we remove the seeds from those pomegranates and what I'm planning to do with them. So stay tuned because there is just going to be a lot packed into this video. Hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully it can just give you a lot of organization, motivation, and inspiration today. So as you could tell, this closet was out of control. Stuff was just thrown and stacked in here. We have reached the point where it does not work out to keep this guest mattress and platform in the boys' closet anymore. They need this storage space as they are getting older and getting into more hobbies, collecting more items. They just need their closet, so I am going to move this mattress and the platform back to our spare bedroom.
Push! Push! Oh, door open, Mom! Door! It's open! Oh! Woman! Careful, Mom! Oh, careful! Careful, Mom! Go, door! I had the door, Mom!
When I'm decluttering and organizing a closet like this, it's usually easiest to just take everything out of the closet and stack it in the room. Now I did leave most of the items up on this shelf and just kind of quickly went through everything, rearranged it all. I hung up the backpacks on these 3 hooks, but once I had everything out of their closet, I vacuumed the floor, dusted the corners and the walls, the ceilings, everything, and then I headed back to our spare room because I needed to make room for that mattress and platform. And I've been wanting to move this console and screen out of this room for a while because we don't use either of these. So I cleared everything out of this console and I was hoping to use it in the boys' closet, but it proved to be a little more difficult to move than I had anticipated. This is called My Husband Won't Be Home Over the Next 2 days, and I am going to try and move this piece of furniture by myself, even though it's extremely heavy. I thought I would try and lay it down on this blanket, and then I thought maybe I can scoot it over to the bedroom, but it's clear over on the other side of the house. I definitely wasn't going to be lifting this by myself, so we'll see what we can do here. I'm trying to tuck this into the drawers, but I feel like it's probably going to pop out once I start scooting it along. I'll see if I can get Kyle in here to maybe help me push this down the hallway. I have 3 little boys who are always eager to help, as you saw with Levi in the mattress. When I ask one to help with something, all 3 wants to help, so all 3 was trying to help me push this down the hallway, and it would have worked except we couldn't get around the tight corner in the hallway right there at our bedroom. We tried to push it into our bedroom and then push it back around the corner, but it just wasn't working. I ended up gouging the wall, and I decided to just stop and wait until Jalen got home 2 days later. So you will see the finished closet here in a couple of minutes. I just went ahead and worked on the rest of the room, getting things organized, going through everything, and then we will complete the closet here in 2 days once Jalen gets home. But like I said earlier, when I'm cleaning out a closet, I will just stack everything out in the room. That way I can go through it all before I organize it back into the closet. Depending on how much is in the closet, it can be a little bit chaotic, so maybe you want to work in sections. If your closet closet has shelving, you could just work shelf by shelf or just kind of cut the closet in half and work on one side of the closet, take everything out, get all of that organized, and then after that you can work on the other half of the closet. And also, as you're taking things out of the closet and stacking it on the floor, you can kind of be stacking it in sections, so you could have all of the clothing in one stack, toys in another stack, and so on, just so it isn't so chaotic. I found these two pillow shams in the closet, and these match the boys' bedding sets, and they wanted to have a second pillow on their bed, so I just went ahead and put a second pillow in these shams, added those to their bed, and now I'm slowly starting to add items back into the closet, trying to only keep what I know that they need and are going to use. And they did need a clothing rod in this closet, but I didn't have a clothing rod on hand, and I didn't really want to purchase anything for this closet organization. I just wanted to use what I had on hand, and so I had this curtain rod on hand, and I thought that would be perfect because I don't need a clothing rod that's going to go the entire length of the closet. They don't need that much clothing storage in here because they do have a large dresser. I just attached that underneath the shelf, and it made a perfect clothing rod. Okay, so now I'm going to be doing some organizing and cleaning in the rest of their bedroom, starting with these shelves and their Lego area. So these floating shelves were from Amazon. We purchased these about a year ago, I think. Just a great way to utilize the storage space that you have in a little wall like this is to add some floating shelves. The boys can put their Lego projects on here and just the little special things that they collect. So like I said earlier, I didn't want to buy anything new for this organization project. I had thought about doing some built-ins in this closet, just like what we did in Levi's closet and also my home decor storage closet. We had bought a shelving unit for the middle, and then we built shelves on either side and added the clothing rods, and I thought about doing the same thing in here, but just decided to not spend the money and take the time to do that because we did have this white and wood console that we weren't using, and it ended up being perfect for this closet. As you'll see here in a couple of minutes, we put it on the floor and we're able to store a lot in the drawers, and then also we can stack things on top. I lined up their shoes and just worked out great for the closet. It's always a plus when you can just use what you have on hand, and I would advise that in any project, whether you're decorating or organizing, check and see what you already have on hand before you go and purchase new. I do declutter rooms in our house quite often, honestly, because I just can't stand clutter, and I know that it's so much easier to keep my house clean when I have things decluttered. If it's starting to get really hard to keep your house tidied up each week, then it's probably time to go through your house and see what you can get rid of, because the less stuff that you have, the less that you have to tidy up. And also, the reason I go through the boys' room so often is because it's so much easier for them to keep it tidied up every day if I stay on top of the clutter and keep things organized, and just every couple of months I'll quickly go through the toys and get rid of a couple items, throw away items, and I've gotten to a point now where there's definitely not as much to declutter as there used to be, and you will get to that point too if you're just decluttering often, about every 6 months or so, or once a year. You will get to a point where there's not as much to get rid of, and it will be easier to stay on top of it and keep your house decluttered. The first time that we did a huge declutter was when we moved from the farmhouse 7 years ago. We got rid of so much stuff because we were moving into a small rental for a little while and then moving up to this house, and so we just didn't want to have any excess items, so we did a huge purge. And after that, each year I would just do a huge whole house declutter, and as the years have gone by, there is less and less to get rid of each year, but somehow you always do find something that you can get rid of. So I'm quickly going through the toys here, throwing away any broken toys, just getting them quickly reorganized. And this was the bag of trash that was leaving the boys' bedroom, things that I found in their closet, in their room, in the toy drawers. Couldn't believe that I had an entire trash bag full of trash, but it felt good to be throwing all of that away. stay tuned. We've got a lot more organizing coming, and also, like I said at the beginning, towards the end of the video, I will be making homemade applesauce with those local apples and apple crisp, and we will also be harvesting the pomegranates here on our property, and I'll show you how we get the seeds out of those pomegranates, what I'll be doing with them. So stay tuned for all of that. A lot more to come in this video. And also, if you're new here, I would love if you would subscribe, like this video, leave a comment down below. All of those things is such an awesome way that you can support my channel, and I really appreciate it. This closet is looking so much better than it did before. There is so much less clutter. It's organized. They have plenty of room for storage as they grow and collect more items, get into more hobbies. So once Jalen was back home, we finally got this cabinet over here, and it fits perfect in the closet. It's great for storage, and then we can also stack stuff on top. I can line up all their shoes on top of here. I've just got their games, different things like that stored down in here. These boxes are stacked in the left-hand corner, and then Kyle's got his special box from church camp that he keeps all of his treasures in, so I've got that right on top. That way it's easily accessible for him. Over here on the right-hand side, I'm very happy with this curtain rod turned clothes hanger. It worked out perfectly. They do not need a full clothes hanger in this closet. This is perfect for what they need. On the right-hand side, I have all of these large containers. One of these is Owen's memory items, one is Kyle's memory items, and then this bin is always clothes that Kyle grows out of that Owen will grow into. Kyle's sleeping bag and binoculars tripod is right here, and then these three hooks hold all of their backpacks, their camelbacks, everything is hanging on these hooks, and that worked out perfect to have that right here inside the closet on the right hand side. In this container is their snow pants, snow jackets, and I just went through all of this, decluttered, only kept what we actually needed. I do have a few boxes over here on the left hand side and some other storage. It feels really good to finally have this project done, and while I was at it, I did just go ahead and organize the rest of their room, so it feels good to have their entire room decluttered and organized. And now that I'm done with this organizing and decluttering project, I'm going to move into the dining room, which is also our homeschool room, and I want to organize the boys' homeschool books, the homeschool area, just get it a little bit less cluttered and a little more organized for the school season. We did start the school year a little over a month ago, and I should have organized this area before we started, but we were kind of busy then, and I just threw the books into the cabinets and it hasn't been organized very well. But I did film a little haul when I got their school books in the mail, just to show you what we'll be using for the school year. I know that quite a few of you are interested in seeing what homeschool curriculum we use and just a little more details about that, so I will share a little haul here in a minute. So most of their school books from the last school year were still in this cabinet, so I was going through all of those, and what I do at the end of the school year is I will flip through their books and just tear out maybe 2 pages from each book and then staple all the pages together, and then I'll write their name and the grade at the top of the first page, and then I'll put that in their memory box, and that's a great way to still be able to keep some of their school papers without saving the entire book. And I was also going through their coloring books and notebooks and throwing away any that had every page used, and so I did have quite a pile of trash here with all of the old school books and all of that, so I was able to get rid of quite a few items. So this is the Ivar cabinet from IKEA, and it's the perfect depth for their school books and coloring books. And I also added this little cart over here for extra storage, which has been great. And they've also loved this turntable with all of their pencils and crayons and everything, because they can just pick that up and put it on the table. And that was from Amazon, so I'll have the link down below. I I still get all of their homeschool books from The Good and the Beautiful, and I'll take everything out of these boxes, put it all on the table, section it out, and then show it to you. Okay, I got everything laid out here on the table. I put all of Kyle's stuff on this end, so I will go through this really quickly here. First, I have his math book. He is in 4th grade, so he obviously has a lot more material than Owen does, who's only in 1st grade. I really love how they lay out their books and all of the pictures, and just makes it very easy to understand and simple most of the time. Next, we have language arts, and language arts usually comes with a few other books as well if you buy the whole course. So we've got his level 4 reader, which this came with that, and then I believe also the spelling and writing workshop came with that, and then this level 4 reader as well. They've got a great book selection on The Good and the Beautiful, and I already have quite a few of their books, but I wanted to order Kyle this book series. It's a mystery series, which I know he's going to love, so he will be reading that this school year. And then for science, I got the Rocks and Minerals study. I got all of this for Kyle, and then I also got Owen some geology activity books that are on his level. That way I can kind of teach it to both of them. They both love rocks, minerals, caves, so this will be a really fun class that they can do together. Over here is all of Owen's books for 1st grade. I will just go through these really quickly. He has language arts as well. He's got handwriting. This is level 1. It seems like just yesterday I did this level 1 math with Kyle, and now I'm doing it with Owen. He's got his reading booster cards, which this came with language art, and his math does come with a math box. The math boxes used to be these cute little wooden boxes, but now they've switched over to these boxes, which I get it probably saves money, but they're definitely not as cute as the little wooden boxes. Just the hands-on and physically using and seeing these items definitely helps them to understand it better. Since I went through the older boy's clothes, I wanted to also go through Levi's clothes because he'll be turning 3 years old in just a month, so I wanted to pull out all of the 3T clothes and just get his drawers restocked with his current size. So as you saw in all of the boys' dressers, I do have these drawer dividers, and I ordered these off of Amazon. We have them in just about every dresser in the house, and they are so handy to have, just a nice minimal way to organize your dresser drawers. So here I was giving you a quick overview of how I have these drawers organized, and then we are going to head to the closet, and I want to quickly go through his closet and pull out all of those 3T clothes. I was going to buy him some new clothes, but I thought I need to go and check and see what he has, and he ended up having plenty of 3T clothes. I don't have to buy anything except maybe one more pair of pants. That's what's nice about having older brothers. He does have plenty of hand-me-downs. Okay, so I just went through Levi's closet really quickly here because he's about to turn 3 in just a couple of weeks. So I wanted to go through all of the hand-me-down clothes and see what 3T items I had. So I'll give you a quick overview of this closet. And this is everything that is leaving his closet and going to his little cousin. I've got a box full of clothes and different items, and then also this foldable like travel high chair. Okay, so on the top shelf and then over here to the left, we have all of our travel items. So suitcases, backpacks, tote bags, duffel bags. And then on this shelf, I just keep a couple of Levi's items. Most of these bins are empty, but as he gets older, we'll definitely be filling up this closet more. I've got all of his button-up shirts over here, and I just realized this shirt is a 3T shirt, and it doesn't seem like that long ago I bought this shirt and I thought, oh, it's gonna be forever until he wears this shirt, but I just thought it was so cute. And now here we are, he's about to turn 3 years old, and he can wear this shirt. He's just growing up so fast. I found plenty of coats for this winter. I've got those stacked here, and then I've got some shoes that I found down here. Most of these are still too large, but he should be wearing them within the next year, and so I want them just out and visible, just so I know what shoes I already have on hand before I go and purchase more. All of these bins hold clothes that he's going to grow into. And then I also have 2 bins of memory items, just some of his baby clothes that I can't get rid of, I want to hold on to for memories. In this corner, there is his travel carrier and everything we need to convert his crib into a toddler bed, which we probably will be doing this winter. So that was a quick overview of Levi's closet, and now I'm going to show the footage from a few weeks ago when I made homemade applesauce and also when we harvested all of the pomegranates. I've now got a lot of pomegranate seeds in my freezer, so I need to make pomegranate jelly one of these days. While I was peeling these apples to make applesauce, I was also making 3 apple crisps with these apples because we were going to be having company over, I think it was that evening or the next evening, and I wanted to have some apple crisp on hand, and we served that with vanilla ice cream. I will type up this fruit crisp recipe down below. It is my mom's recipe and it is delicious. You can put it on top of any type of fruit. I've done this with peaches, blueberries, raspberries. So while those are baking, I'm going to finish peeling all of these apples, and I will also link my apple peeler down below. This is from Amazon. So now I have all of these apples peeled and chopped in the pans, and at this point I will add a little bit of water, lemon juice, and also cinnamon. The cinnamon is optional, but I love for our applesauce to just have at least a little bit of cinnamon. And last year I was having to pour these cooked apples into my blender to blend them and turn it into applesauce, but this year I have an immersion blender and it is so much easier. So like I said earlier, I did pick these apples at a local orchard, and I wanted to go ahead and put the photos of when we went to that apple orchard. Me and the boys went with my friend Rita and her 3 little girls, and we all picked apples together. We got some apple cider donuts, and it was a really fun fall day. It was pretty windy, but still a fun day. To can this applesauce, I am just putting it into these large mason jars, covering those jars with water in my water bath canner, and then I probably boiled these for about 20 minutes, put them out on the countertop, and all of them popped and sealed. And we've already been getting into the applesauce. The boys have loved it. They love my homemade applesauce. I need to try and make it more often, but it is quite a bit of work. Alright, so the last thing in this video will be the pomegranate harvest. Last month I harvested our pomegranate bush, and this bush has grown like crazy the last couple of years. We have lived here for 5 years now, and I would say that this bush has more than doubled in size. We do want to trim this bush this winter, and I'm planning to cut off some branches, put those in buckets of water, and they will grow roots, and you can start new bushes that way. I'd like to plant a few more bushes around the property. Also, I want to give some to my sister-in-law, and they're just such a fun bush to have, just to be able to harvest these every year. Pomegranates can be so expensive to buy. Harvesting and then removing all of the seeds can be a lot of work though. I worked at this for a little while, and then Jalen took over, but it took us several hours to get all of the seeds out of these pomegranates, and I wish that we could keep them in the fridge for longer, but I did just have to go ahead and put these right into the freezer because they'll start molding pretty quickly in the fridge. I'm hoping that this month I can pull those out of the freezer and make some pomegranate jelly, because pomegranate seeds make the best jelly, and then I also do want to make pomegranate sweet tea. So stay tuned, I'll share that in a future video, and I hope that you enjoy this home organization ideas video and all of the organizing, decluttering, motivation, and inspiration. Hopefully it just inspired you today to do some organizing around your home, or just some homemaking in general. That's always the goal of my videos, is to just hopefully motivate you and inspire you. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next week with a new video. Next week we are going to be heading on the road again and doing a bathroom makeover for someone in just 48 hours, so stay tuned for that. Bye!